So we're going to start off with ratios today. So comparing two quantities. Can you guys see the board? Okay, is it good? See all of it? Just split it in half. So I'm going to give you guys like 3 or 4 minutes to do the first two problems. Yeah, we'll do that. Just to practice, and then we'll review a little bit. So let's say, let's do circles, triangles. That looks good. So what is the ratio? I need a new marker. Let's do circles to triangles. Okay, and do you have to simplify a ratio? What do you think?
No.
Yep, it's just like simplifying a fraction. Simplify the ratio if you can, okay? And we'll talk about that too. So those of you in here, do it on your desk as well. Let's do the next one. 3 apples, 4 oranges, 3 bananas. And then let's do oranges, 2. Okay, so we have 2 problems here. Circles compared to triangles, and then oranges compared to the total amount of fruit. So work on those 2. I'm going to go get a new marker. So be trying these ones. Yeah, in the bag I gave you this marker somewhere. Okay, we'll do about 1 more minute. Okay, about 30 more seconds. All right. So let's go ahead and look at these. I see a lot of you guys with the right numbers, but the wrong order. So when we write these, we're comparing the 2 quantities, right? We're finding the number of circles, comparing it to the number of triangles. So how many circles are there up here? We have 6 circles, right? 6 circles. Remember, you can write the dot, the colon as your ratio. And then how many triangles do you see? 3. 6 to 3, right? But this is kind of like a fraction. We can simplify this. What number is going to go into 6 and 3?
2 and 1.
Not 2 and 1. There you go, 3. 3 goes into 6, 3 goes into 3. It's just like simplifying a fraction. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So a ratio is for every 2 circles that you see, you're going to see 1 triangle as well. So for every 2 circles, there's a triangle. For every 2 circles, there's a triangle. You see how that works? Okay. Now the thing is, there's 3 ways to write a ratio. This is one of them. You can use the colon, the dot, dot. What's another one? 1/2. Okay, yeah, as a fraction. You can write it as a fraction, but it's not 1/2. It's 2/1. You got to still write it in the same order, right? That's what I meant by I saw a lot of you guys with the right numbers, the wrong order. You have the 2 and the 1 flipped, right? So make sure you put circles first, then triangles, because it asks for circles and triangles. And then what's our last way to write it? Not as a decimal. Remember?
Percentage?
Not percentage. You use the word 2. Yep. You actually write it out. 2 to 1. So you use the word 2. T-O. 2 to 1. So these are the 3 answers that we could have here. The ratio, 2:1, a fraction, 2/1, or words, 2 to 1. Okay, how do we do? Online good? In person okay?
Yeah.
Doing all right? Good. Now our next one with our total is a little bit different because we have to add some things together. So we have 3 apples in a bowl, 4 oranges, and 3 bananas. It's asking for oranges to total. So how many oranges do we have? We have 4 oranges, and it wants the total number of fruits. How do I find the total amount of fruit?
Add them up.
So 3 plus 4 is 7.
7 plus 3 is 10.
Is 10. Good. So we have a ratio of 4 oranges to 10 total fruits.
But you can simplify.
What number goes into both 4 and 10?
2.
2. 4 divided by 2 is 2.
2 and 5.
And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that's one way to write it. What are my other 2 ways?
A fraction and to write it out.
Good. A fraction, which would be 2/5. You just write it in the same order. You just turn it sideways. So that's another way. And then you can write it the same order with words instead. 2 to 5. Do you guys remember this? Feeling okay on it? All right, let's do the quizzes then. Liliana, I'm going to have you do it on my computer, actually, so I'll get you set up over there. Let me present my screen and have you guys get logged into it. I didn't mean to hit start. It's fine. Okay. So go ahead and get logged into that. Use your first name and initial, please. Sorry, one sec. One, 4, 2, 5, 2. Wow. Okay, so you'll need to do it here when we go on to play around my computer. Great pencil. There's a piece of paper for you here. Right now it's kind of different. So right now it's going to be when we put the game on that. Do we need a couple more people? Do we have 9 in here? We do, huh? 9 here. I don't know. I don't count. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So we should have about 18 of you guys, hopefully. Who's our last one? Oh, there we go. Who's Charlie? Was it you?
I kind of forgot to go in. I was just paying attention to everything.
Okay, so we have everybody. So this one is on ratios. Should be very similar to this. It's going to ask you for like a total a few times, so make sure you pay attention to what it's asking and the order it's asking you to do things. Sound good? Ready? Okay, do your best, take your time. We have plenty of time today, so we'll probably see if you guys all finish. There you go. Yep. We're going to talk about that after. I forgot about them. The accuracy is pretty good. You're at 59% already, so keep it going. You're still around the 60% accuracy, so keep it up. That's pretty good. Do about 3 more minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, finish that question. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and end it here and see how we did. Your accuracy was almost 70%. So you guys, oh, it is 70%. So you guys would have gotten a C on that test as a class. But overall, you guys did really well. So Charlie got third, Olivia got second, and Dallin got first. Good job, guys. And then quite a few of you guys mastered it, which means that you got over a 90%.
We got 90.
That's good.
94%.
Yeah, that's good.
We got 100%.
That is good.
And it's in first place, so.
I'm gonna check on all this.
Alan.
All right. Real quick, I want to talk about a couple of questions that were on that quizzes that we just have not talked about. The part to whole, whole to part, and part to part, right? You guys saw that?
Yep.
Did you get it? No? Little
Yeah,
bit?
I know it. I knew it.
All right, we're going to talk about it just really quick. So it's different types of ratios. So the different ones that you can have.
I will see the ones that I got wrong.
So let's
I
say,
think it was like the one that we were talking about, like 1 to 5.
yeah, we're going to talk about it now. So,
Those are the one, like, what's the ratio?
oh, that one you should, it's just a definition of a ratio.
That's what's the ratio.
Sorry.
I got one next to the other, I got the second one right, the first one.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the 3 different ways that ratios can be represented. So let's say I ask you for apples to oranges. Apples to oranges. Okay?
That's part to part.
Yeah, what would apples to oranges be? So that's a 3 to 4 ratio. But apples are parts of the total amount of fruit. Oranges are parts of the total amount of fruit. So that's a part to part ratio. Yeah.
I figured out how to see, like, what place I was in.
Good. Good. So apples to oranges is a part to part because both apples and oranges are part of the total fruit. Then we have part to whole. So let's say we do 3 apples, or sorry, let me write that again. What if it asks for apples to total? That one is going to be 3 to what? How many total?
7, and that's part the whole.
Well, 3 to total, so we have 3, 7.
Oh yeah, I was adding the other 2.
3 to 10, and that's a part to whole. Because apples is part of the total amount of fruit, and the total amount of fruit is the whole amount of fruit. It's all of it, part to whole. What's the last one? Whole to part? Is it the opposite? So the opposite would be like saying the total amount to the amount of apples, which would flip this to be 10 first to 3, and that one would be whole to part. Okay, did those make a little bit more sense of part of the ratio, or part of the total amount of things to the whole amount of things? Okay, so they'll probably ask you about that on the benchmark tomorrow. So there's your mini lesson on it. Your
How
benchmark
many
is
questions are on the benchmark?
35.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
Are we doing it? Are we doing it during class?
Yeah, so instead of doing any sort of math class, it's just going to be, I'm going to show you how to get into your benchmark. You'll take the benchmark. Yep. So our last one is talking about converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. So let's start with, let's do 3 problems. Let's do convert. Let's take 35% to a fraction and a decimal. Okay, so start with that one. Take about 2 or 3 minutes to work on this one, okay? Do your best. We'll review it, but try it on your own first. Okay, 35% to a fraction and a decimal. We're going to do it, and then you'll check it. Excuse me, I don't know. All right. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go over these. So let's see. Let's start with taking 35% and changing it into a fraction. What's my first step? I have the number 35%. What do I have to do first? How do I make it a fraction though? What do I do? Yeah, we gotta take away our percent sign, put it over 100. Am I done?
No, simplify.
Good. If you got this far, it's going to be half credit because we can simplify this. What number goes into both 35 and 100? 5. We can divide both by 5. 35 divided by 5 is 7. And what's 100 divided by 5? 20. There's our fraction. Now we need to take 35% and make it a decimal. So we have 35%. First step is take away your percent sign. Don't need it anymore, right? Then we need to move our decimal, which is always after the whole number. Where do I move my decimal? To the right or to the left? This one goes to the left twice. Always twice. Doesn't matter when. Always move it twice. Doesn't matter how many numbers are in your number. Always move it twice. So our decimal is 35 hundredths. Okay? How'd you guys do? Good? Bad? This is kind of a difficult one, right? Okay, let's do another one. Instead of taking a percent this time, let's have a fraction to start off with. Let's say we have 4/5, and we're going to change it to a percent and a decimal. Okay, can we see that now? Take 4/5, make it a percent and a decimal, please. Take about 2 minutes or so. My suggestion is to change it to a decimal first, then change it to a percent. The top number divided by the bottom number to get your decimal. 4 divided by 5. Otherwise, 4 on the inside. Good. Divided by 5 to get your decimal. So try that. Yeah, but I would take the decimal that you have and then back to it. Plus, you gotta move it twice, remember? No matter what, move the decimal 2 times. Other way. Go. So you have to make a decimal percent, you move it twice this way. To get 80%. You take a percent, the decimal each move it twice backwards. Okay, about 30 more seconds. All right, let's go over it. So the easiest way in my mind to do a fraction and changing it to the decimal and percent is to start off by changing it to a decimal, because then you can take that decimal and really easily go to the percent after. So change a, sorry, drop the marker. To change a fraction to a decimal, what do you need to do? We need to divide it. Take the number on top, 4, and divide it by 5. But 5 doesn't go into 4, right? Can't do that. And you're like, wait, you get the same thing. So what do I need to add over here?
0.
Just a 0? A decimal as well. If you're going to add zeros, make sure you add the decimal and bring it straight up. So now that we've added our 0, we can drop it down. Does 5 go into 40?
Yeah.
How many times? 8 times. And it goes in evenly, right? So there's our decimal. 0.8, 8 tenths. Done. Okay, Charlie, how do you go from a decimal to a percent then?
I multiplied the 0 and the 5 by 10. And then the 4 comes into 80, so I got 80%.
Oh, you multiply by 100. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're on the right track. The way that you do it, totally good. The same thing, the way that you're doing it is the same thing as taking your decimal and your, like the actual decimal in your number and moving it 2 places to the right. So we're going to move it 1, 2 times, but I moved it twice. What needs to go here?
0.
A 0. So we get 80%. Okay? How are we doing that one? Good?
I think mine a little bit.
But you got these? Then you're good. Yeah, Charlie. Good?
On my business thing, it's a dress, but I made it so it says proud student.
Okay. So we're going to do one more practice problem. We're going to take a decimal this time. Let's take, let's take,
0.45.
well, too late, I put 0.85. Close though.
Yeah.
Let's take 85 hundredths and take it to a percent and a fraction. Okay, so try those for about 2 minutes. See if you can get those answers. We're going to change it to a percent and a fraction.
So would you do the percent first or the fraction?
I would do the percent first, because when you have the percent, you can easily change that into a fraction. Yeah. Now, how do you think fraction is that? So that's a decimal. You just put the numbers into the so 85 and it's not there. So instead of just flipping the numbers, you need to do that. That decimal to a percent, you're going to move your decimal twice. So which way you move? So you're only using your division off the base. And about 30 more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and review this and take our quizzes. Okay, like not 30 more seconds. We're gonna review it so we can take a quiz because we gotta go to lunch soon. So
Will we have enough time to do a fun one?
probably not. Sorry.
Okay.
So let's start with taking 85 hundredths and making it a percent first. So we have 0.85. I need to take my decimal and move it twice, always twice, to the left or the right? To the right, twice. And you get 85%. So there's our percent. Now we can take that percent that we have and make it a fraction. How do I take 85% and make it a fraction?
Just take away the decimal and put 100 under it.
Good. Take away your percent sign. Better than that. Put it over 100. Am I done?
No.
No. Why not? Good. We need to simplify. So what number goes into both 85 and 100? 5. Good. What is 85 divided by 5? 17. And 100 divided by 5? 20. So there's our percent and our fraction. Okay? These ones are all three of these different conversions are a little bit difficult. It just takes a lot of practice to get used to doing them all, right?
I got it right after my school.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put our quizzes on the board. And we'll take our quizzes and be done for the day. I'd like everybody to participate in the quizzes so that they can, so that we can get a little bit of extra practice before our, what's it called? Benchmark tomorrow, okay? It's 10 questions on this one. And there's your game code. A couple more people. I think we have 19 people today, or this is on the call. I don't think so. A couple more people, and we'll be good to go. I have no idea who it is. Oh, I know who it is. It's still there. Okay, about 30 more seconds and then we'll get started. Did I still give you guys pizza for lunch on Wednesdays? I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll just stick with the 18 of you guys. Take your time. We got about 10-ish minutes until we should probably get going for us to get to lunch. So, ready? Here we go. Not your best actor. We'll do a couple more minutes. All right, we'll do about one more minute and then we're going to have to get going. Sorry, guys. All right, we're going to go ahead and end it here. So our winners are, Larry got third, Charlie got second, and Madi got first. Sorry, Yoshi sneezed very loud again. Seems to have a very loud sneeze. So 50% isn't awful because that's a difficult standard. So you guys are doing pretty well on that.